Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to say that I have a very, very, very special guest with me today. My guest today is the scorer of the most important goal in Pakistan football history. My guest today is the scorer of the most watched goal in Pakistan football history, and he's done all of this at only 19 years of age, which kind of embarrasses me since I'm 26, almost turning 27, but that's fine. But I'm really happy that he's done all of this. My guest today is Harun Hamid. Harun, bro, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know we had to do it a couple of times. Forget the backstory, guys. We're here right now. How's it going?
No worries. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's going well. Going well.
Going well.
Thanks
I
for
don't
having
want
me.
to waste any more of your time or my time or the audience's time. I want to talk to you about that goal. I think everyone's just wondering what was happening, what were you seeing, what was going through your mind as that ball. First, it was up in the air, then I think Shaikh Bose flicked it. What was going on? Tell us everything about it.
So, uh, I just made the forward run and I could see the ball. I think Shaq Ghost played it over a long ball. And it was bouncing and it came to me awkwardly, and I knew I had to hit it first time because there would be a defender right behind me. And I'd like to think I guided it into the bottom corner rather than just hitting it. So, yeah, alhamdulillah, it was a good finish, and yeah, really happy with the goal.
Great finish, actually. I mean, did you have a look at the keeper before the defender, or when did you last scan to see what was happening?
Do you know, when it bounced, I just knew I had to hit it first time, and I knew that corner would be hard for the keeper. I think I caught him off guard. Maybe it wasn't like the most powerful shot, but I think I maybe caught him off guard. So I just kind of knew I had to go in the far corner first time.
And it was a great finish, not only because it deceived the keeper, but also because it was obviously very controlled, but also because I mean, we can say it now after the fact. It was like there was an eternity before the ball went in. It was like kind of slow, it was like bouncing, and then I was like, is it going in? Is it going in? Were
Yeah,
you
yeah,
also
yeah.
experiencing that moment? Is it going like okay, you've hit it now. Now you're just sort of seeing it as we are, as like a third person view. What's happening then? And then it goes in, and then do you just lose your mind?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happens?
I think in the moment everything's going 100 miles per hour. So as soon as I hit it, I knew, yeah, this is going in. Even though it wasn't the most powerful shot, I just knew once I hit it, yeah, I've caught the keeper off guard, and started celebrating. So yeah.
And did you? I mean, I know we don't like to get carried away and we don't like to think ahead of ourselves, but had you thought in all the I'm asking, I mean, I'm sure I would have, if I was in your position, like World Cup qualifier match, you've played for Pakistan a bunch of times now. You're a forward player, so there's a chance you might score. There's a chance you might score a winning goal for Pakistan. Did that thought come to you before the home match or before the away match or either of the two matches? And if it did, what did you think you would do if you scored?
Yeah, I think you always want to be a key player and try and win the game for your team and for your country. So I think those thoughts probably did cross my mind, but the way it happened, you couldn't have wrote it. It was a crazy moment.
And then, like, because since you don't really, you can't write it, like you said, when it went in, what happened then? Like, did you like know what to do? Like, what the hell happened? Like, because I don't think a lot of us are ever gonna be in your shoes and score like a historic winning goal for Pakistan. So I just want to understand what happens in your mind when something like that takes place.
Yeah, yeah. When it went in, I'll be honest, I was filled with adrenaline, emotion. I felt like Muhammad Ali. I felt I shook up the whole world. So I was shocked when it went in, and I didn't know what to do. The first thing that came was naturally a knee slide, and by the stands where the fans were sitting. So yeah,
And
I
then what
wanted to
did you
show
feel when
love
you
and
looked at the
support.
fans?
Oh, it was crazy. They were the whole game. They were, behind us from the moment we walked out the tunnel. They were all supporting us, and I think that definitely helps. That's what you need. You need that extra push and that drive to keep you going throughout the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, and when you were taking a look at them, did you realize the amount of joy and happiness you'd sort of given them?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the moment, I think it was surreal, but afterwards, looking back, it was like, wow. There were, even after the game, even fans were running on the pitch, like it was crazy. So I think it was probably the best moment in my career so far, and inshallah, there can be more of those moments.
Inshallah. I mean, I know we've talked before, so I know you're a very grounded and sort of humble individual. But I have to ask you, how does it feel to be sort of Pakistan's record-breaking goal scorer at such a young age? How does it feel? Does that change anything for you? Does it motivate you more? Does it make you more determined to do whatever that goal has changed in your life, whatever it was from that day onwards and from that day before, like what's been different?
I think it's motivated me more because I've got a whole nation on my back now. So I think there's um there's more results to gain, and we've got a big game in Saudi Arabia. So I think I need to try and do something in that game as well, not just live on the past and move forward and keep achieving moments like these.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely. And playing in Pakistan, though, I mean, that's the first time you've done that. That's the first time a lot of players have actually. That is actually the first time, apart from Yusuf, but that I think anyone of the team played in Pakistan, if I'm not wrong.
well,
An international match. Yeah, because it happened
well,
after like
yeah,
8 years,
8 years,
yeah, and
yeah.
then 11 years or 10 years for like a competitive match. So, what was that like? I mean, it wasn't just new for you; it was new for the whole team. Like, what was that feeling?
That it was a crazy feeling playing in front of home fans. It's so different to club football because the people are so passionate and we're so passionate about getting the win for our country. So it's a different feeling playing out there in front of the home fans. They're cheering us the whole way, and I think there was 12, 13,000 of them. So it was a crazy feeling.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you bring up how it's different from playing at club level, because I think the closest you can be is a local boy playing for their club at like a big game. Because then you're invested personally as well. Um, because other than that, I think a country playing for your country is completely different because it's like your country. Um, like I know you've been through the QPR youth setup. Was that a local club of yours or not?
Um, it's close to me. It's about an hour away from me. So I wouldn't say it's my local club, but it's a club in London and
Ah,
close to
okay.
where I'm from. So
Yeah, yeah, okay. Because I was wondering if because I know like it's special for players who like come through the ranks and play for the local clubs.
yeah,
It
yeah,
means more for them. But even for them, I think the country, like the thing that takes the cake, and for to do it at 19, I think it's crazy. Were you surprised at the crowd and how much passion you saw in Pakistan? Because the general perception for a lot of people is that cricket is the main sport, and not a lot of people watch football, and it's like kind of not a big thing. But what were your feelings around that?
yeah. It was surprising for me, honestly. From the moment I stepped out the tunnel, people were screaming uh our names, cheering us on, and I was thinking, wow, like this is crazy. And I think wins like these will only help and grow the football in Pakistan, so it can grow and get better.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about the two coaches you've played under, right? Shazad Anwar and Stephen Constantine. First, I just want to ask you. Obviously, Stephen Constantine was only there for like 10 days or something before the matches. Um, um, and Shahzad Anwar was there for a longer time. But what are the differences in the way they operate, their style, their management techniques? Like, what is the main difference that you saw in both of them?
Yeah, I've got respect for both of them. I respect them both very highly. And I think Stephen Constantine, he's done a lot in South Asian football, so he understands how it works and he understands the culture. And he's done a great job with only 10, 12 days to get that win and go through to the next round. So yeah.
And what was its impact like? So because as we've discussed, he only had 10 days. And to obviously a lot of the work that was done to prepare the squad to keep it in good shape was Shahzad Anwar, obviously the SAF championship, then the under 23. sort of qualifiers where he scored as well. And then Stephen Constantine obviously had a big part to play in like the two matches and the game plan surrounding that and how to actually win effectively a knockout match, right? So what did Stephen Constantine do, in your opinion, that made his impact so great? And what has been his biggest strength for you over the time that you've interacted with him?
I think he fights for the players. So when you have a manager like that, the players want to fight back for him. So I'd say that, and I
What do you
think
think? What
the
do you mean
organ
in terms of fighting for players? In what sense?
like our well-being is the most important thing to him at all times. You know, making sure we're getting the right foods, staying in the right places. You know, so just general things for our well-being. Um, and yeah, I think in terms of on the pitch, the organization. So every player, when they stepped out onto the pitch, they knew what their job and their role was individually and within the team as well.
And what did he say for the two matches? Like, what was the team talk? Or not specifically the team talk. What was like the message? What was like the meta narrative that he gave the team going into the two matches? Like, was there something that you? What was being communicated to the team?
I think, like I said, was to do your job, your individual job, and that will help within the team role as well.
And where was the team message at the home match? Did he talk to you about the crowd? Did he say something different about it being a home match and stuff like that? Because I've heard good things about him being a motivator. So I just want to get a sense of, is he like a charged up individual? Does he like say stuff with, you know how there are different ways to motivate? Like some people use different techniques. You have like the calm ones. Like I don't know if you've seen the Zidane's halftime team talk at the Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Juventus. When so
No,
yeah, it's like very different. You know, Carlo Ancelotti does things very differently to Jurgen Klopp, for
yeah,
example, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
how does Stephen Constantine operate? Like, is he fired up? Is he more methodical? How does he motivate you?
yeah. I think he fires up the play as well. You know, before the game, he was telling us like sometimes in life you get one opportunity, and this is one of them games or opportunities. So you have to take it. And I think, Alhamdulillah, we did take it. So
Yeah, you
yeah.
took it, and then yeah, overall we took it. And do you think the players sit up and take notice more because of his track record and because of what he's done? Like, was he? I think judging from what I've seen of him, I haven't interacted with the man even once, but judging from what I've heard and what I've seen of him, he is a very strong character. So that probably helps. But also, I think I'm asking you, does the fact that his CV, his resume, when he comes into a dressing room or something, you're like, oh, this guy, he's done his stuff. Does that make you want to fight even more for him?
Yeah, of course, because you know he knows what he's talking about. So you're just gonna listen and try to do what he says to the best of your ability. You know, he's done a great job with the India national team. So who knows? Maybe we could do the same thing, if not better, inshallah.
And has he talked to you personally or specifically about stuff you can do better, or what he expects of you? Any sort of tactical, psychological, physical advice? Anything that he's given you specifically that's helped?
Yeah, of course. I think he just tells me to go out there, be confident, and try and make impact on the game. You know, get end product crosses and shots,
And
things
does
like
he
that.
use you as a wide player? Does he? That's how he wants to use you.
Yeah, as a wide player, as an attacking player. Yeah.
Okay. And does he expect some defensive duties as well? Because one of the reasons why I think he played Moin and Shaikh Dost is because they're very good going back as well, right? Especially Shaikh Dost. He's like crazy defensively as well. So does he? Because I expect, like I sense that he expected his wide players, like the wide midfielders, to do a lot of defensive work as well out wide. So does he expect a lot of that, a lot of discipline off the ball as well, or is he to you specifically saying, I just want you to be creative, be yourself, and play how you feel like?
No, no. Of course, every player's got to do a job defensively. You know, every player literally helps and is key to our defensive shape. So not there's no one player that can do their own thing or not defend or track back. So everyone's got to do a job
So
both
that looks
offensively
like
and
a
defensively.
non-negotiable, right? That's like kind of a non-negotiable for him. Are there any other
Yeah, yeah.
non-negotiables that he talked about? Like, I can forgive. So, for example, I always remember this. Like when Guardiola went to Barcelona, one of the first things that he said was, to his players, I can forgive a bad pass, I can forgive a bad shot, you can miss all the goals you want, but I will never forgive if you don't put in 100% effort, right? So is there
Mm.
something from his end where he's like, you if you don't do this, I'm sorry, we can't.
Yeah, similar thing. You've got a similar thing. Like you've got to always give your 100%, no matter what. That's just a given, and what comes with it, your quality, that's down to you individually. But yeah, you have to give your 100% always.
And just on Stephen for a bit, I was talking to Shark Sohail. I don't know if you know him, but he was
Yeah.
mentioning that after the match he talked to a few players and they said that they would jump out of a window for him or something, just to show how much they are willing to do for him because of how much he motivates them and gives them. Um, is that the feeling that's in the squad, or do you resonate with that?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think, like I said, he fights for the players, so the players automatically and naturally want to fight back for him and give their all for him. So yeah, I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that,
can I can believe that statement.
I'm as a Pakistani football fan, I think that's exactly what we want to hear, right? Because I know because it's your country, you would want to fight for it anyway. But if there's a coach who can make you go that extra step,
Mm.
in I don't need to tell you, in professional football at the highest level, even 1% makes the world of difference, right? So I think it's these little things that add up and make the world of difference, and have actually helped us to get to the second round of the qualifiers, which I actually wanted to talk to you about now. Saudi Arabia and Tajikistan next up. You'll in a few days, inshallah, you'll be playing against the team that beat Lionel Messi less than a year ago, actually, and the team that has Roberto Mancini as the coach, Salim Al Dosari, the AFC Player of the Year. I mean, this is a huge sort of. I know it's a professional match, it's a competitive match, but I think for Pakistani football, we can afford to take a moment and be like, we're this is a big moment for us. Is that sort of the feeling that you have and the players have as well, or is it just blinkers on? We don't care if whoever it is, we're just gonna do our best, or are you like, yeah, we're gonna soak this in. It's a big moment, and then do our best, of course, inshallah.
I think personally, I'll never succumb to like pressure of a match or care about who I'm playing. I just want to try and do the best possible that I can do and that the team can do. So I think of course, it's a big match and probably the biggest match in our footballing history, but we can't look at them and give them respect just because they've achieved what they have achieved or whatever. We need to achieve something in Pakistani football as well. So I think we can't look at the game and step back and say, "Wow, we're playing against Saudi Arabia." I don't think that
Let us do
we
that.
can
You
play like
guys
that.
don't do that. Let us fans do that
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
because I
yes.
think we're gonna do that. I think we've suffered too much in the wilderness, and now even playing against a team like Saudi is a big deal for us. But I absolutely agree. I think for you professionals, you just stick to the job at hand, and it's great the mentality that you're mentioning here. But what are your thoughts on the second round of qualifiers? Obviously, we have Tajikistan as well, and that's going to be another match at home. And Otis has now been formally cleared to play, so he's going to get his first match in Pakistan. What are your thoughts around that, playing in Pakistan again?
Yeah, I can't wait to play in front of the home fans again. I've been waiting for to play in front of them. I've been telling my family, and I can't wait to play back in
I
front of
think
the
we're
home
gonna have a
fans.
full house. We could have a full house this time, because last time we had like a
Hopefully.
week's sort of head start with limited marketing, and it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon and a weekday, but still. And
Mm.
Islamabad isn't even the most populated city like Lahore and Karachi are. So still, you had, I think
Uh,
the formal sort of full capacity of the ground is 24,000. Half that, or more than half of that, was full, despite everything that I just mentioned. This time, I think people are going to be wearing your jersey. You're going to see a lot of that. People are going to be even crazier than what you. Because I think the thing about Pakistani people is they love wholeheartedly for all their faults. They love wholeheartedly, and if you give them, they love their heroes. And I think you have now become one of the heroes. I mean, at 19, no less. So I just want to ask you about the squad and the group of players. Obviously, this will go down in history. This squad and this group of players. Um, But what are the expectations now moving into the second round and obviously playing Saudi, Tajikistan, and Jordan? What's the expectations? What's the internal feeling between the players?
I think we have to try and pick up points where we can, and try and hold our own in the group. So yeah, we just take every game as it comes and try to stick to the game plan of the coach and the staff, and try to see what we can do, inshallah.
And how have the senior players or the more experienced players, obviously they're most of them are players playing overseas, right? Because it's a very young squad, especially the local guys are very young. But Isk Suleiman, Yusuf Butt, he's very experienced. Hassan Bashir was involved, not in the qualifiers, but like before that, he has like valuable experience. Otis is super experienced, generally at club level as well. How has Rahis as well, and now all these players, like how has that been, and how have they helped you, not only in terms of like representing Pakistan and managing maybe whatever pressure expectation you might have, but generally settling in, helping with other things.
Yeah, I think they bring a lot of experience to, especially to try and help the local players. Giving them tips where they can in terms of positioning and different things. So I think yeah, it's good. Bringing a lot of experience. You look at Otis; he's had like over 250 pro games in England, so he brings a lot of experience to the team, and likewise the other players do as well.
And specifically, what have you learned over the past few months representing Pakistan, like personally, professionally? I don't know, maybe it's helped your personality, your character, or something. How has that changed you?
Good question. I think it's taught me maybe how to deal with my teammates and my players. Um, maybe in the start, when things weren't going right, you might be not shouting at a player, but in the heat of a game, you just need to get a message across quickly. But you have to learn to deal with that. Some players don't take it. Some players might take it, but some players might take it the wrong way and think you're, trying to get onto them. So I think it's taught me how to deal with different players individually and for who they are.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's very important because again, I mean, you don't want to like demotivate someone even more, right? Especially during a match and then they
Yeah,
go in
yeah,
their shell. Um, Obviously, I mean, you won't admit it, so let me just say it for you. I mean, you've done a big thing already at 19 at international level. I know, I hope. I'm same as you actually. If you were talking about me, I would also be like, okay, that's done now. I got to focus on what's next.
yeah, yeah,
But you've done something great, and inshallah, you'll do even more in the future. But
yeah.
what plans do you have for your club career apart from like what's happening in the national team? And obviously, we've talked about what's next in terms of the national team, play around two and go on and achieve great things for Pakistan. But what about your club career? How's that looking like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to opportunities wherever they come up, and I think this has helped with opportunities coming up. So wherever the opportunity is, I'm ready to take it, whether that's in Europe or the Middle East, wherever I can play regular first team football, professional football. I'll take the opportunity, inshallah.
So you have some stuff going on, and you're gonna decide soon.
Yeah, there's some things in the background, but we're just waiting and seeing which is the right one. And obviously, I'm keeping focused for this game as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I wish you the best of luck, man. I don't want to take much more of your time. I just wanna ask you if you have a message or something to say to the Pakistani football fans that are watching this show. Anything you wanna say to them, about them, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all the Pakistani football fans for the support, especially in the last game. And I think we need all the support we can get for these up and coming games. And on the 21st of November, let's pack out Jinnah Stadium, inshallah.
Inshallah, you heard the man. Let's back out Jinnah Stadium. I don't think we needed an invitation to do that this time. I really expect the crowd is going to be even crazier. And this time, I think not only will you get to see Harun Hamid, our guest, but you'll get to see Otis Khan as well play for the first time for Pakistan in Pakistan. Let's get the points on the board, like Harun said, like wherever we can. Let's support the team against Saudi, against Tajikistan, against Jordan, against all of them. Will be there. I hope all of you are there. This has been Pressing Matters. Add on the mic. Do subscribe. Follow us on social media. And two, think about supporting the channel on Jazz Cash and Easy Pesa. Like I said, details are in the description below. Harun, my brother, before I let you go, I just want to say thank you for taking out the time yet again. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I really hope we get to meet sometimes. Well, I don't know, I'm in Germany, you're in UK, but yeah, let's see.
Nah, thanks for having me. And yeah, inshallah, hopefully we do meet one day.
Yeah, hopefully, inshallah. But until then, I'll be rooting for you from behind the screen. And you're always
Thank
welcome to
you.
come on the show whenever. And yeah, man, hope to see you soon. Best of luck for the matches and till next time.